looks really good, and now you've got seemingly a lot of problems for Aster on how they're going to approach this game, and there you go. You've got Slark coming in. Slark with the Warlock, Omni Knight, and Shadow Shaman. We'll see what he's able to accomplish. It should be played by Freeze, I believe, is the... is he back to mid, or is he playing the one position here for Aster these days?
Nah, Cheyenne is from SEA. I've played against him for like almost a year. He's definitely going to be middle. That guy is like a C prodigy when it comes to the mid lane.
5 seconds remaining.
You don't want to take that away from him, I think.
Okay. Yeah, because I know Freeze played mid for VGJ Thunder back in the day.
Yeah, but he was always more of like a carry mid kind of player. Like he played these Medusas and SFs and stuff.
Yeah, and then he went to Sirius. He was playing the one there. But any other, I think a couple other teams that he had been playing with, he had been playing the one position. So it's nice to see him back in this spot once again. I think he was playing with DBG, Deathbringer Gaming. That's a team that didn't make it through the entire season either. But yeah, so we'll see him in the one position here, and we'll see what they set up to pick up last as the Death Prophet gets banned out by Sirius.
Aster right now, they got team fight. They need some kind of tower pressure. Sure, they have Shadow Shaman, but he needs level 6 for that. What does Taiwan like to play? There's a Kanka potentially. Could ban out the monkey and pick the Kanka. Give him a good matchup. They definitely need some sort of pick off, sort of early fighting hero.
He does like to play Queen of Pain, but I don't know if I really like that Queen. With so much lockdown here, is Queen of Pain going to be able to really get away with being over mid? And it is a Coca.
Might think that I am a pro player.
Wow.
But yeah, like, with that Monkey King being banned, there's not many matchups for Kunkka that are bad. Could expect, like, an Ember Spirit would be quite good for Sirius here. One of the better lanes against Kunkka. Has quite a free game against the Aster lineup as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, Ember's banned actually already. Never mind.
5 seconds remaining.
Storm Spirit.
Yeah, the lockdown is basically what, X and Shackle?
Yeah,
that's kind of what you're dealing with.
That's pretty much it. And a Pounce, I guess.
If you land it, it just seems like it's such a lack of lockdown. It really opens it up for the mid, and I kind of agree. I like that the Storm Spirit pick. You know, when you've got a lack of lockdown on the other side, you can really take advantage of that.
Yeah, and Storm would also lane quite nicely against Kunkka. Thinking about what else there could be. Well, lock them at home. Whip up the heroes page.
Well, if it's...
Odie's already banned as well. They definitely need some way to address the Slark. Like, their lineup isn't terrible against Slark, but they... Like, some heavy AoE magic damage through the Slark ult would be good.
Yeah, they already got rid of that Leshrac and the Monkey King, which is like ASD's top 2 with an OD. So those 3 are already banned out. He loves playing Storm Spirit, and he plays really aggressive, and that's one of the things that he's got to kind of learn with his team. He gets like overly ahead of himself, where he just kind of like plays so far ahead of his own team. Like, he's just like, we've got a 2,000 net worth lead, let's work it. Like, let's keep going. And you know, that'll work sometimes, but you see other times where ASD, he comes in and you'll see once or twice in a row where he kind of puts himself a bit too far forward. So I could see the Storm Spirit. He's very aggressive like that. He plays Shadow Fiend as well.
Necro Frost.
And he ends up going into the Necro. So
they're going full tank. I mean, it can work, but not the kind of last pick I would have liked to see. Because, like, if the Slark has a really good game, he's actually a winning condition now, rather than being countered by the last pick of Sirius.
Yeah, and he doesn't really play that Necro too often, I believe, or at least according to his Dota buff. From what I had looked at the other day, he had only played it like 5 times. So it's not one of those most played heroes for ASD. So I'm interested to see how he's gonna go about it.
I mean, that being said, like, Shadow Demon Necro is a really good combo because you reduce, like you just remove 40% max health. Then you can just pretty much just siphon right there and he will just die. Pretty much from full health. So, there's a combo, but... not the biggest fan of it. But is it a 5 Rubik?
Yeah, it's HYM on the Rubik, TMing on the Shadow Demon.
Yep.
So
Interesting.
HYM the 5, TMing the 4.
This is like such a boss Rubik game. You have so many spells to steal.
Yeah, so we'll see how TMing does and how Firefly, aka HYM. I'm gonna keep calling him HYM. I know he has it set at Firefly. I just know him as HYM. It's so hard to get it out of my head. Whew.
Yeah, I mean, the Chinese are going quite ham with the name changing lately.
There's been a couple.
Yep. Yeah, that puts you 5 Omni. You gotta do a lot of work, my friend. No, it's offline Omni actually.
Yeah, it's
Never mind.
XSS on the Omni.
Offline Omni versus the Wraith King lane.
So we'll see how this ends up going. Do you think there's going to be any sort of lane swapping? Sometimes you see the one go to the off lane, or vice versa on the other side. You think they're going to be looking either team looking for a particular matchup?
They want to have the Slark against the Centaur, I believe, and the Omni Knight against the Wraith King.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going 5-man right now. Catch any potential smoke. This is so lame with the Centaur. You just start the game with like 5 stacks.
And already has 2 stacks of tangos with the shared one, so he's ready to regen whatever he takes, and takes the retaliate stacks already.
Yeah, I thought Aster was running there because they were expecting him to do it and maybe kind of try to kill him, but they just ended up killing in the background instead. But yeah, they're getting the lanes they want. The Omni against the Wraith King. Dark against the Centaur, I believe. Yep.
No, right now they've got the Shadow Demon as well as the Rubik up here. So,
Yeah, just to take the room because Centaur had to go back to base to heal.
The battle begins.
They want to make sure they get these 2 bounty runes in.
yeah, so they've got at least one, but Free's doing a lot of damage to HYM. He'll back off. No real exchange, no crazy jump in or anything. Leaves us without a first blood for now, and right off that, TMing TP's over bottom, so they confirm and get themselves the bounty rune. Move over bottom.
2 bonus each. I think the most interesting should be this mid matchup. How it pans out. Because Necro used to beat Kanka quite badly when it was still the pure damage aura. But since the change, I think Kanka has a little bit of an upper hand.
So we'll see how ASD kind of plays this out. 2 solid mids in the Chinese region. You know, you're here with teams that are 1 step away from qualifying for TI, so you're not seeing the maybes and the Oris of it, but it doesn't really matter. I think everybody is really set here, and I think these are one of the 2 best mids in the qualifier that we're going to see so far.
I mean, I would definitely agree. Can't really think of any other mid player that would better than those 2.
You've got Torrent's going to land, and he might be able to get first blood. ASD in a little bit of trouble. The Fairy Fire comes in. He's able to survive that, and they both salve up.
Putting on so much pressure early on already. Now you can see this aura doesn't really do anything anymore. It doesn't really hurt the Kanka. Very big change.
Yeah, he seems to be doing just so much right now and harassing ASD immensely.
Yeah, and then the side end should just be farming. They got really passive lanes on both sides. Oh.
Not
Shouldn't be too much action.
Really over mid is what I'm concerned about, but we'll see, because ASD, especially if you can land another turn like that, get ASD low, you get that potential once more where he doesn't have that Fairy Fire opportunity.
Yeah, and he also used the second flask already. Himself. You can see the net worth. He's 400 ahead already on the Kanka.
Yeah, so doing a really good job here over mid.
Yeah. I mean, you can see ASD's now really comfortable on Necrolite. At least playing against Kanka. He has been eating a lot of free splash hits for no reason.
So is it when you're taking a lot of harassment like that? Is it more the hero you're up against gives you trouble, or is it both? Is it the hero that you're playing? You know, if the matchup's not good, or if it's just your ability on that hero. There's so many factors, right? When you're 1v1 like this.
Yeah, there really is. But the thing is, Chaiyuan is a Kunkka spammer. He plays the hero so much, and he also plays Necro like a fair bit. So he definitely knows the matchup in and out.
You do end up getting first blood here onto the Warlock, but they do have passed the tier 1 to grab that. But a quick kill here for Sirius, and lanes that looked a little bit quiet, but meanwhile over mid, ASD hit with the X. They'll shroud up, but he's still hit by that torrent, still in a lot of trouble. Continuing to chase, has the Tiebringer, one more shot, but he pops the salve. He should be able to survive now. Botto coming in from the Kunkka, X on cooldown, so no way to pull him back, and ASD able to survive despite having that torrent land and being down to just a minuscule amount of health.
But despite that, Kunkka is still winning the lane quite handily. You can see the net worth. He's like 600 net worth ahead already. In a lane that should be Necro favored. My boy Chaiyuan coming in hot from Malaysia here.
Yeah, we see a lot of that. It seems like in the Chinese region, it's like 4 players from China with one player from Malaysia, and you've got this bit of a mix. And Freeze in a little bit of trouble over top, gets through these trees. It's that combo we see together on a lot of areas. Like LGD has it with X Nova. So X again with the torrent. ASD in trouble. Chaiyuan trying to get another kill here. He's been close multiple times, but again, unable to finish off ASD.
Yeah, but he's handling him.
He really doing quite a lot. But in July, top gets the stun off on the Freeze. He's low as well. Both of them are just sitting there quite low. And ending up that In July dies as they've got the Shadow Word on him, and over time he just finally falls. But again, the torrent landing on ASD over mid. Chaiyuan just continuing, like you're saying, handling the Necro, but things get a little iffy as he's back under his tower and really low. One more shot comes in, and ASD's the first one to strike blood over mid.
Now suddenly goes the other way. He's been bullied all game long, and suddenly he solo kills him. Now he's ahead of the net worth again. Showing us why he's one of the strongest mid laners in China. That's not something a lot of people can do, you know? Like, he was behind so far, and just in terms of CS and experience. I mean, alright. Another replay to download to learn from.
So 2-1 early for Sirius, but that kill's really going to help ASD get back into this one.
Oh yeah, for sure. And he also has the scythe available now. Like I want to see some rotation from the Kunkka, maybe on the Centaur, because the winning condition for the team is a Slark, and he should really try to enable him as much as possible. So maybe with the next rune, try to get a kill on the Centaur, make the life of Slark a little bit easier.
Yeah, Slark's doing an okay job, 35 and 3, and they did get that kill on In July with the Shadow Word of the Warlock. So they got a kill. He's up in CS. In July, though, what more can he do in this lane, you think, at the moment?
And not too much, really. Like, Slark is generally considered a Centaur counter, which is why they picked it up against him as well. He will just have to deal with the fact that Slark is going to have mostly free farm. And as soon as Slark is 6, of course, there's nothing you can really do to stop him.
X and the bow. Now they've got the Shackle with the torrent landing. They'll get a quick kill on ASD with the rotation over from Bobica. He's always a very mobile 4, something we see quite a bit, something we've seen over his entire career. So I'm not surprised that he comes over mid, helps get a kill, and even up that lane. But he comes back over towards top, so, you know, right away he's looking for more. Shackle, Hex, Freeze looking over. And the Dark Pack, Hoof Stomp, but they've also got Chaiyuan, and they'll get the kill on it in July. So Bobica comes over, as does the Kunkka, and they're able to secure yet another kill here for Aster.
Yep, and this is what we call a monster shrine. 4 heroes with low mana, low HP. Going all the way back up to full. And that's the rotation we spoke about. Just make the life of Slark a little bit easier, get that Ascent Shift permanent agility stack up. Because he's gonna be the one that's gonna carry you in the end.
So This mobility coming out, these couple of kills coming the way of Aster. They lead by 1,000 net worth, and you check the net worth, it's all 3 cores on the side of Aster leading the way.
Yep, as expected, Omni has a very good lane against the Red King. But yeah, as we spoke about before, mid lane shouldn't be like this, but TI9 really outperformed my expectations at least. Did way better than I thought he would.
Yeah, he did so well over mid, despite that first death too. You know, he really brought it back. They got the kill right on back. He was farming really well, harassing ASD out of, you know, really low out of lane, and forcing him to just salve up multiple times. And now Freeze over top. He does get the leash out with the pounce, so Injuly needs to be very careful as they now start to turn it with the hoof stomp, but still Freeze looking to chase a bit.
Yeah, he still knows he has his ult at his disposal, so he's not scared at all. I'm trying to see what Radiant can do to really pressure Dire. Like, it's a really hard kill on his Omni Knight. The Kanka is quite a hard kill as well. And obviously you can't really kill the Slug with the heroes you have right now. So what lane are you looking to pressure is the real question here as Radiant. Because right now they're being out-farmed.
Wonder where they really can move, and are they waiting for ASD for a movement, or are they trying to find it with somebody else, say in July, move over as he hits level 6 with the Stampede? Maybe they have that opportunity to go on someone.
I mean, right now they're just trying to farm up their own core items, I suppose, and then probably group up and get a tower push going. But it will be quite scary, because if they wait too long, that's going to be the Tomek experience, and Warlock is going to reach level 6, and then their team fight is so much stronger than the Radiant side. Already choosing to max out the Fatal Bonds as well, going for the full team fight build.
He's got 3 in the Fatal Bonds, 2 in the Shadow Word, and we take a look as Sirius, they smoke up.
Yep, trying to secure the bot tower with the Necros rotation.
They've got Stampede
Just
to
kill
close
him.
the gap too, potentially.
Yeah, they need to get this kill on the Omni Knight with the Reaper. And they might very well get it.
There's the Wraithfire Blast. They lift him up, they throw him down, they use the Reaper Scythe. It's not going to be enough to get the kill on XSS. He'll use his own ulti to get away. They're unable to get that kill. They threw everything in the kitchen sink, it seemed, just to get the Omni Knight, and they are unable to come away with anything.
Yeah, this is pretty much the worst case scenario for them, because now they can't get this tower kill, and they didn't get the Omni kill either while using the Reaper. So now they're being pressured on 3 lanes again, and they can't really do anything about it. Aster. I mean, Omni Knight is such a hard kill with his new Heavenly Grace. It's such a strong ability. His 50% status resistance is so good.
Yeah, you saw he was lifted up for a split second.
Yeah, even the Wraith King Blast stunned him for what, 1 second? Then the slow immediately tapered off as well.
Now they head over towards top. They'll look for in July. They got the disruption from TM Ming to make sure that he doesn't get pulled back into the boat, as well as the Torrent. But the Torrent ends up hitting on ASD as they pressure with the Serpent Wards over towards top.
Yeah, but at the same time they have 2 lanes free farming, so they just want to force rotations, and they did just that. Now they can try to find a good team fight with the Warlock level 6. That Rock, pretty much a free team fight this game. I can't do too much about it.
Finally grab this Midas on Sylar, but you know, it's going to take him a little while to ramp up where they want him to be. Is it a little too slow of a build up here for Sylar with how fast and how much of a pace Aster are using at the moment?
Possibly, but at the same time he needs to get really fat this game, because otherwise they have no means of fighting this Slark at all. Because the heroes they have are not great against him. So he'll have to get to this like 3-4 items territory before Slark does. So the Midas will hopefully help him with that. But as you can see,
the Hex, as well as the Hex over bottom. Boat comes through, as well as the Torrent. Easy does it. They use the smoke to get themselves a kill. They secure it on an HYM. XSS is actually the one who gets credit for that, and then right off that, they continue to pressure these towers. It's really choking out Sirius' spots to farm.
Yeah, they just have no moves on the map right now. Like, it's so hard for them to pressure any given lane at all. And the Warlock still has ultimate as well, so they have to be scared of fighting. 5 versus 5. You can't fight into Kanka Warlock as a Radiant lineup, it's impossible.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And now they get the free bottom tier 1 tower pretty much, while just defending all 3 of their own tier 1 towers. That'll smoke up though. Centaur and Rubik coming in from the side.
See what they're able to do with this is they will spot Q. He's got Fatal Bonds. That's actually such a great skill to steal. I mean, there's so many things here that if you're able to steal it are great for this Rubik. But the Fatal Bonds this early on to help you get that extra bit of damage could be nice. Disruption, Torrent, that's going to land here on ASD. They've also got the boat coming in. Chaotic Offering will come down from Q. They're unable to finish off anybody just yet. The Fatal Bonds on HYM as well as in July. They look over the golem. They'll grab 100 gold onto Sylar. X pulling back Firefly once more. And then a Hex on the low ground onto Sylar. But really nothing coming out of this at the moment. XSS finally comes in and chases after Sylar. The Torrent's going to miss. And now they've got Purification stolen by the Rubik.
Yeah, you could say it was a little bit of a sloppy execution by Dire. Like they kind of just used the rock and the boat like individually rather than comboing it up. So Radiant actually has like a 2-minute time window now to start pressuring towers where they have no rock. But instead they just choose to go back to the lanes and farm up again. I'm wondering whether Sylar will go for Radiance build this game or leave it up to the Necro. Because Necro without Radiant feels so top lane again.
Yeah, Freeze taking a lot of damage, forcing that ult out. They'll also rotate Q over. He'll be able to help heal up Freeze if he needs it. And keep him safe as 3 heroes are here for the side of Team Sirius. But, of course, with that passive, doesn't exactly need the Shadow Word.
Yeah. When the Diffusal is up on Slark, Wraith King's gonna have a really hard time this game. As well as Centaur, really. You just don't have the mana pool to sustain the Slark being on you in a team fight. Radiant really needs to use the time window they have right now. 80 seconds left until Rock is off cooldown. They need to get 1 tier 1 tower at the very least. Setting up for bounty runes right now.
They'll try to secure the bounty runes. They look over. Freeze takes a lot of damage off the bat. They'll throw the boat down, but with Slark low and the Reaper Scythe coming in, they'll get the kill. They'll take him out of the game for a minute. I mean, this early on, a minute's gonna hurt.
15 minutes into the game, you get Reaper, you're just dead for a minute. I really hate that ability. It was a level 2 Reaper as well.
Yeah, he just hit level 12 like a minute or so ago. So that kind of came in at the right moment when they fought by those bounty runes.
Yeah, Sylar posturing up mid lane, so he will be protecting that tower. Like they're poking a little bit, they can't really do too much to him though.
They've got 4 heroes here, but like you said, we'll see if they're able to do anything. But they are continuing to just go for this tier 1 tower. They'll finally have at least 1 rotation coming out in ASD.
Yeah, this mid tier 1 tower is really, really important for map control, so securing it would be very important for the Dire side. And it seems like they're just getting it.
Yeah, they get themselves the tower access, able to walk away off that one. TMing also rotated in, so you had 3 heroes here for Sirius as they grab the tower.
I'm surprised they gave it up this easily. What should have happened is that the Necro just TPs in front and just defends the tower together with the Wraith King because top was already secured pretty much. And they should have not lost this mid tower for free.
Really
now
opens
their
up the
jungle
map
area
too.
is very vulnerable.
Yeah. The vision, at least right now, isn't exactly amazing here for Aster. But without that mid, like you said, it really does open it up.
Yeah, they'll definitely start to posture in the enemy jungle here.
And they got themselves the kill on a Q. They'll drop down the Serpent Wards, and now with the boat as well as the Torrent coming in, they rip apart through HYM. They'll also take out TM Ming and ASD. Charon gets a triple kill real quick.
Yeah, that was a triple Torrent boat combo. He hit 3 heroes with both abilities. And it's just a spills disaster immediately. They have no chance. Warlock did buy back though, so a tiny win, I guess, for the Team Sirius side.
You know, you said he was spamming the Kunkka recently, and that was a pretty spot on.
Yeah, I mean, he knows what he's doing with it here for sure.
And you can kind of see the difference between how he's playing this Kunkka right now and a little bit on how ASD's playing the Necro. Just how well he's playing this Kunkka compared to the Necro of ASD. And now they'll go in. They've got the disruption onto Freeze, but the Torrent lands onto TM Ming, and it's a quick takeout there. They've also got the Shack on ASD. The Chaotic Offering comes on down with the boat coming through, but they've got themselves the Yules. It's the Chaotic Offering that gets thrown back at them by the Rubik. So quick steal, quick throw, but it's not going to save the life of ASD. And now Sylar comes in surrounded by 3 heroes. I'm not exactly sure that's the spot he wants to be in. X with the Torrent once more. They've got the damage. They'll pop the first life. We'll see if they continue on forward for him to kill him off once again. But with the Pounce missing, they don't have the lockdown potentially, but still have the X. And then the Fatal Bonds and everything coming through with the Purification on top of it. Freeze takes out Sylar. They get him twice. They didn't need the Pounce to leash. They had the X.
Yeah, it's pretty much just exactly what Dia wants. These long drawn-out fights, you get a lot of X marks, a lot of splashes, torrents, Slark stealing stats left and right. And on top of that, what I just realized, the Kunkka built a Spirit Vessel, which hard counters both the Necrophos as well as the Wraith King. And it's not a usual pickup on a Kunkka, so I think it's like super smart for him to itemize that way.
He's got that Spirit Vessel. He's going for the Radiance next.
Yeah.
He's really...
At this rate, he might have it before the Wraith King finishes his.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Especially dominating right now. He's only 3-1-6, but you could feel his presence in every single one of these exchanges.
It's getting really, really hard for the Radiant side to do anything. We already saw the lack of damage, and after this team fight now, there's just... the issue is just gonna become so much bigger. Because they're gonna get more and more tanky, get more and more levels, and the team fight doesn't just become worse, you know. Like Radiant still cannot team fight, but at the same time, finding pickoffs is so hard as well because they just don't have damage. You can see how aggressively Dia is playing as well. They don't care at all right now, because they know Radiant has no chance against them in a proper 5v5 fight.
Smoke breaks real quick as Sirius is coming in, but they've got the Hex. They've dropped down the Serpent Wards as well as the Shackle coming in, but the Telekinesis comes up from the Rubik to lift up this Shadow Shaman, so he's no longer able to have the Shackles out. They'll get the kill on the Angel Eye. They'll look for more. HYM getting low. He'll end up dying second. They'll continue to chase forward, looking for TM Ming. And with the X, they've got him surrounded. They'll get the kill. It's a triple here for Freeze, so they've had a triple on the Kunkka. They've had a triple on the Sark. They are dominating here, up 9,000 net worth, just 20 minutes in, 13-4.
Yep. And I think what they will do is wait for the Radiance, get the Roshan, and then just soundly try to end the game. Because right now, Radiant has zero fighting chance whatsoever. They can't deal with the Slark Omni-Knight combo at all. As you can see, like this Slark just runs in alone, and what can they do? They can't lock him down. He has an Omni-Knight behind him, who's giving him Heavenly Grace. He got Dark Pact as well.
So
what do you say as an objective caster here?
It looks like it's falling apart. I was actually just about to ask you, where did it all kind of crumble here for Sirius? Because you know, looking at the draft, it looked like they had the lockdown. It looked like they had the ability to put the combo together with the Necro. But from step one in the laning phase, it seemed to be all Aster.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to as well. The laning phase. Like, Aster got the exact matchups they wanted. Like I told you, they wanted the Stark against the Centaur, and then the Omni against the Wraith King. And both are matchup counters. If you change the lanes a little bit for Sirius, I think you'll have a much better time this game. You'll pressure the Slark much more, you'll pressure the Omni-Knight much more. And then you won't have this problem, or your permanent problem right now is you don't have damage. Pressure these two side lanes properly, then this lack of damage won't be such an issue. And I think that's where like already fell apart in the early game for Team Sirius. Like right now they have no fighting chance at all. What they need to hope for is that Aster like spreads out a bit, a little bit too thin somewhere, and then get a pick off, and then maybe transition into Roshan from that.
Yeah, I mean, all ASD has right now completed is this Yules. He's got 2,700 gold, and he switched into a Maelstrom.
I really hope that doesn't happen. That would be the first time I ever see a Maelstrom on Necro.
He just switched to it too. We'll see. I don't know if we're at that point in the game here for ASD, but
He has the gold to
potential.
buy it, so I think he's not gonna buy it. Otherwise he would have already. Radiant's completed on Kanka as well. Same as Wraith King.
Yeah, about the same timings. And he goes Shadow Blade on the Necro.
Dire's top tower
And he's dead.
And they're gonna spot him anyway. Spirit Vessel, Boat, Shackle. Quick auto kill, but it's stolen by the neutrals.
Whew, I don't know why you go Shadow Blade. What? Your problem is not survivability, your problem is damage. I'm very surprised for that. I'd pick up. Haven't seen it in a very long time. It's gonna be free Roche or Aster. And then I think they're just gonna march down mid lane pretty much. I don't think Raiden can do anything to defend really. But of course it's a TI qualifier, you know, if you want to be really safe, you kind of just choke them in their base for a couple of minutes and then extend the gold lead.
Yeah,
I can defeat bottom lane.
every best of one is so important that you just can't really give it up, and you want to play it safe. And they're continuing to go after Sylar, but the blink came from in July with the two-man hoof stomp. They've got the telekinesis onto the Shadow Shaman. They get the kill on Abovica, but Sylar, Stampede trying to run away, gets out of the range of the boat. And in July now trying to walk out of this one, but he's hit with the X once again with the upheaval on top. And, well, Freeze is able to get the kill on the Centaur, so a 1-for-1 trade, a 3-for-4.
Yep, this could have been a lot worse, because this was the scenario we spoke about where Aster is spreading a little bit too thin. They only had two heroes there who could have gotten bursted immediately if like Sirius had committed everyone right at the start, but they were a bit hesitant. So Aster's getting away with one, but I don't think they'll make this mistake again. Because this is really the only way they can lose this game. By trying to get too excited and do too many things at once, you know.
You get a little bit ahead of yourself, you get caught out once or twice, and all of a sudden the vibe of the game can completely change.
Yeah, especially against the Necro. Like, these heroes are so high level now, they will be out of the game for 100 seconds.
Yeah, still just that level 2 Reaper Scythe. He's going into a Silver Edge on this Necro.
I really don't know what he's thinking at all. They don't even have good passives to disable.
Really just a big surprise there is not something you see all too often on that hero.
Yeah. And for good reason, because it doesn't do anything for you.
Well, they find Tian Ming. They've got the Diffuser to slow him down, but the Disruption's not going to save his life. They've got the Shackle X Torrent, and another quick kill here for Aster, making it 15-5.
Yep. How many bounties did they get? 3 bounties for Dire.
Gold from my chest.
Yeah. Yeah, just all over the map, taking that bounty gold, getting these kills when anybody tries to object to them getting bounty earns.
Yeah, so there's two things that Dire can do right now. They can either just run down middle and force it down really hard, or they just take the T2 middle and try to just choke them into their base. Look at that, Rubik.
Rubik in trouble, but as is AST, as he gets leashed up. There was a Sentry Ward that had him in vision for just a moment, but they've dropped down the Serpent Wards. They'll get the kill very quickly with XSS getting the credit for it. But the whole team was there to kill the ASD once again.
Yeah, the Shadow Blade is just like a... like, you need a BKB, you need something to help you stay alive and deal more damage in fights. Shadow Blade is like... didn't do anything so far in this game.
So, considering the draft and what we're seeing in terms of results at this point, what would you have liked to see instead of this Necro?
I think the Storm would have been a perfect pickup here because you win lane against Kanka and you can punish the heroes of Dire, actually. But this Necroforce pick so far didn't do anything for them at all. No pressure, no teamfight presence, no pick-off presence. You already have 2 tanky cores, you don't need a third one. So... but obviously, you know, that's in the past. Like, what can you do right now with the draft that you have? I really think the itemization is a huge issue. There's no way you can justify going a Shadow Blade on the hero, ever. In a situation like this.
They've got the Pounce and the Leash once again. The Disruption comes out onto Freeze, but with the X, with the Torrent, they still have TMing locked up. A lot of damage coming in on a Freeze, but they get the kill on a TMing. They'll drop down the Chaotic Offering. Freeze continuing to move forward. Looks over at Syra. They've got the Shackle coming in from Bobica, but the blink into the hoof stomp. Two-man hoof stomp coming through, but I don't know if it's going to save the first life of this Wraith King. They pop him once. They look over it in July. They turn their attention. The boat gets thrown in once again in July with the Solar Crest on top of him. He'll get killed off. That's going to be 2 down. Might get 3. Sylar gone. That's going to be a 4th with HYM hitting the deck. And 4 gone. Aster continuing to take the base, and they are up so much in this game.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time to see GG. And there it is.
There it is. Very well done by Aster.
Clinical, you know? I think Sirius, the first 4 picks they had was amazing, but for them, the last pick, in my opinion, at least ruined it for them. And Aster, not to take anything away from them, they played super well. They played like they have really good team coordination, you know? Like they were always there when they needed to be there, and they helped the lanes they needed to help. The game understanding was really good. And it looks like, you know, my boy Chayuan might be doing it.
Especially on that Kunkka. He looks so good. Like really impressive over mid. Like, you know, I watch a lot of this region, and that really impressed me. That especially against Sirius, who, in my eyes, I kind of hyped up. I'll see if I'll be eating that hype later in the, you know, maybe day 2 or something like that. It's only 1 loss at the moment, but Chayuan doing a really, really good job over mid, and he's the one that they kind of had the jumping point off of. He did really well over mid. It kind of turned into, what can your Necro do now? He's so far behind. The rest of the lanes kind of crumble when they get the matchups they wanted, and from there, the laning phase, Aster took over.
Yeah, I mean, you can see in the end screen here, Kunkka, most hero damage, most GPM as well. Like, he did so much for his team. And that's why I didn't like the Necro pick, because they didn't address the Kunkka, you know? Like, that's why second pick is so good, because you can counter that matchup. Like, why wouldn't you do it?
It didn't exactly make much sense there, but, I mean, at the end of the day, Aster get the victory, and we'll be back with another one. 2 different teams coming up next. CDC as well as IG coming up next. That's with GGG in the 1 position for IG, as he used to be on Serenity and Keen Gaming. So we'll be back with that in just a moment. Stay right there. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back in just a moment.